you sure you were broken? Are you sure you were open? Are you sure you were broken? Are you sure you were open? It's the best podcast you've ever heard. If it's not the best, then you're surely the third in a very niche genre of two guys with a microphone. Are you sure you were broken? Are you sure you were open? Are you sure you were broken? Are you sure you were open for a podcast?
Hi, Zach.
Hey, Brandon. Oh, it's a beautiful day for a podcast.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
It's a beautiful day for a podcast.
Would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor?
7 p.m. at night.
Yeah, already peaking. We have a new audio interface, and we're still working out the kinks.
Yeah, I hope this sounds good because we didn't do a test run. Brandon, I was just asking. I was asking you about supplements, man. I was like, can you take too much supplements? So I'm not on a lot, but I was thinking of adding more, and then the question is, how much is too much?
I think it's about what you which ones you're taking, because I think some you're fine, like they don't even interact with each other.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll be fine. Like, so I would Google things just like, how much vitamin C would be dangerous, and it's laughable. Whenever you compare it to like what's actually in like a multivitamin or what's in
an orange.
I'm just like, I would have to eat like jars of these.
Yeah, they're like you'd have to. Well, it's essentially the same thought process as somebody trying to kill themselves with like Tylenol or ibuprofen. It's like, yeah, I mean these are bad for you, but like you have to take like a whole bottle, and even then it might not kill you.
Yeah, I just don't think I'd be down the rabbit hole.
Nah,
I was taking so many supplements it would be dangerous. But the question did pop up in my head because it's like caffeine. People don't think about that, but then they, they get the energy drinks with 300 milligrams, and then they have 3 of them and go, "Whoa, why does my heart feel funny?" And it's like, because you need to go to the hospital.
You're outside of the safe amount of caffeine you can intake in a day.
So that, I get to thinking about shit like that, and then I'm taking different vitamins and supplements.
Well, I think the biggest thing you have to worry about is redundancies.
Yeah. Just taking a bunch of shit.
Yeah, like taking like if you take a multivitamin and then you're also supplementing like iron or something like that, and the multivitamin already has your daily dosage of iron. I mean, but even then...
Yeah, even then it's still safe. It's just...
as long as your skin isn't turning blue because you're supplementing like silver iodide or whatever that fucking one dude did.
Yeah, that's something we spoke of off mic too. We're like, I think we just piss most of it out.
Yeah, I think you'll be fine. As long as your piss isn't brown or red, you're good.
I think my sister can't even. She has to get like a
iron supplement injection.
She has to get like an injection.
Yeah,
because vitamins. She doesn't absorb vitamins.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Is like a lot of
vitamins orally.
A lot of like creatine and those type of supplements won't be absorbed into the body correctly unless you take them with something. Like I noticed when I was reading the instructions for dosage on creatine, it also says to take the creatine with something that has glucose in it. So they're like juice or sugar, water, something like. Basically, it piggybacks on the interaction between the body and the sugar to actually get the creatine where it needs to go.
See, my creatine tells me to take it before I work out, but I'm lazy and I just put it in my protein drink after I work out.
Well, your protein probably has glucose in it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, but it's like those little things where you don't know. I think the biggest thing would be drug interactions is where most people go wrong, because they're like, oh, let me take a barbiturate and then also have a cocktail, and then they OD because their nervous system is already being suppressed. And vitamins aren't really going to suppress your nervous system, so...
No, it just makes you wonder, like, I take all this shit and you don't really think about what's in it. And then I was, like, just reading labels and going, holy fuck, like, I'm putting a lot of shit into my body and you don't really think about how much of this is actually, like, how much is it until it's not safe?
Have you looked at the, like, the high-performance multivitamins?
No.
Because they, like, come in a pack. So it's like 5, it's not even, like, one vitamin multivitamin. It's like a pack of 5. And whenever I was working out in the military, that's like I got, protein powder, creatine, multivitamins, all that. And I actually looked at these multivitamins one day, and it was like every single vitamin on there was like 5 to 10,000% of like your daily requirement for those vitamins. And I was like, well, no wonder my piss is like fluorescent green. Just, and I didn't even feel any better. It's like, not that vitamins don't do anything. Like I do like supplementing with like ashwagandha and stuff.
Well, I also read that feeling the benefits of certain vitamins, it's not like, oh, you just start taking it in a couple days you feel better. Sometimes it's like 6 months.
Yeah.
Like you have to take the vitamin
every day
for 6 months, and then you'll notice a result.
So basically, I'm never going to get any benefit from vitamins.
Yeah.
I'm just not consistent enough.
Yeah, the consistency is a really hard part.
That's why I like things that are like, they work that day. Like ashwagandha, I get an immediate thing from L-theanine, which is the stuff that's in green tea that's sort of like a caffeine mood booster, energy boost kind of supplement. I get that same day. L-arginine or L-arginine, that's one I get if I lift on L-arginine, you get like an insane pump.
Really?
Like nuts.
I
got an extra bottle if you want an extra bottle.
Brandon, write this down for me because I want some insane pumps. Ash gets me tea with ashwagandha in it.
I don't have a pencil.
It's pretty dope.
I literally have an extra bottle because they sell them in 2-packs.
Okay.
And just take it once a day. I'd start once a day. If you take it twice a day, I'll get headaches because I feel like my blood vessels get dilated. Like it's like a vasodilator. It makes your orgasms incredible.
Sweet, dude.
Yeah.
And everybody knows I already have incredible orgasms.
So it's sky's the limit.
I don't say anything to Ash, and I'm just like, and she's like, oh my God.
It's been 3 minutes. You're like, why are you surprised? That's normal.
She's like, I can't breathe.
You're like, I'm not done. I'm not. What's that fucking Whitest Kid You Know bit where he's like drawing on the whiteboard about what he did the other night? And he's like, is that me and my wife having sex? And he's like, I'm not finished. Shut up. What? Mr. Boss, is that you in the bushes? I'm not finished. Why do you have a video camera? This is illegal. Shut up. I'm not finished. Okay, now I'm finished. What do you think it is? Just like Pictionary.
Can we just go watch that?
Yeah. Whitest Kids You Know good.
Yep. Thanks for tuning into I Assure You We're Broken. This was a
good 10 minute.
One hell of an episode, I'll tell you what.
Yeah. No bits, just hits. You know? Speaking of supplements, I tried a off the beaten path supplement recently. Yeah. Are you familiar with natural male enhancement?
Nope.
Oh. Well, it's an exciting new industry that you can invest in now.
Yeah. By
buying their products. And I wasn't going to. It wasn't like I was seeking it out. It was just one of those things that sort of happens where you're with a guy and he's like, oh, stop by this gas station where the Indian guys are and they sell this royal honey stuff. And it's good for, whenever you can't get it up. And I was like, all right. I'll bite. Give me 1 royal honey, please. And he was like, I'll take 6. And I was like, oh, shit. Maybe I need more of this stuff.
Just immediately starts taking it when you guys get back in the truck. Like, what are you doing?
Shut up. Drive faster. So anyways, I tried it and it worked. It was cool. I was like, yeah, this is cool. And then I was like, I probably shouldn't just be taking things with a government job, like just because like they sell weed in gas stations now, so it's like the market's a little more unpredictable. It's like somebody in professional sports taking like a random supplement And then they're like, oh, you tested positive for steroids. And they're like, oh, that's why I got such a good pump. It's like, that's why it felt so good.
Yeah. That's why I was fucking killing it.
So I looked up the ingredients, and then I found like a poorly worded, bad English grammar description of the product, like a product page for it. And it was like, royal honey contains taladaffil. And I was like, I don't know what that is. And it goes on to say, taladaffil, of course, is known as the primary active ingredient in Cialis. And I was like, well, yeah, no shit. Like, yeah, like, obviously, oh. I mean, it's like cheating. They're like, ginkgo, horny goat weed, Viagra. And you're like, well, fucking no shit, your fucking recipe works. I thought it was like, rhino horn. Like, they're just like, here's some steroids. Like, fucking, yeah, no shit. I thought this was a natural remedy for fucking, like, natural male enhancement.
No, it's like...
They're like, no, it's heroin. What the fuck? Of course it works.
It's like, I don't know. It's like one of those snake oil companies where they'll buy an already popular popsicle, melt it down, and sell you the juice. They're like, we have really good juice here. I'm like, fuck, they do. And they're just selling you bomb pops.
This is as good as Rocket Bomb Pops. And they're like, I know, it's crazy. It contains Rocket Pops.
They're just melting Viagra. Like, put it in honey.
Some poor Indian woman is like crushing up Cialis pills.
And they just mix it with honey.
Yeah, because the Indian the guy like who's running the factory is like,
welcome to my shop, white boy. What can I get you today? Okay, you want the royal honey? Yes,
he's like, doctor, I don't know. It's crazy. I can't get an erection. I need a larger prescription for the pill. He's like, yeah, dude, just whatever. Here's the fucking. This is India. You think I care what you're doing with the fucking pills?
He's getting his own prescription and turning it.
He's talking to himself in the mirror.
He's turning a profit.
He is a doctor. He also has a side business where he's just writing himself prescriptions for Cialis.
He just makes
sponsored by Cialis.
He makes 10,000 trial accounts for fucking Blue Chew, and then gets the samples. So he could turn it into royal honey.
Yeah, he has all of his factory workers make a fake email.
He melts it down in a spoon to get his fix.
Takes a cotton ball and a syringe and just fucking pull a little out to make sure you got a vein, and then I am hard as a rock right now. Indian accents are still cool to do, right? We're not gonna get canceled for that in 5 years when we're famous, right? Oh, shit.
Nope.
Nope. Yep. Yeah.
Check out this mystery product. It totally works.
Well, and the fact that it's like a poorly translated into English website makes me wonder if it really does have Cialis in it or if it's just one of those things. But I went back to buy some more and they were sold out. So,
makes you think maybe they just say like it has all the good shit like the other boner pills.
Viagra. It's got Viagra, Cialis, extends.
But they're trying to sell you on it like maybe it doesn't have that stuff, but they're like, it totally has that stuff.
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. But it did do something to me, and I definitely increased my blood pressure.
Well, I mean, okay, so at least it worked, because have you ever tried the other, like, gas station?
Yeah, Extends. Remember Extends?
Yeah, I don't know
with a Z?
I remember that. I don't know if I tried that.
They had, like, one of those little 5-hour energy shots that I took one time.
Yeah,
But I don't have boner problems, so it's like, I never know if they work. But this last time, I still don't have boner problems. Like, I can maintain an erection. It's just a matter of, like...
Well, see, so I don't know...
who doesn't want a little horny goat weed every once in a while?
I don't know what brand I was using.
Some ginkgo?
But you'd be like, do these really work? And the guy at the counter would be like, yeah, man. You totally tell the difference. And maybe it's because I was buying them when I was like 18, and you know how you're 18, you fuck in the morning. Maybe if you don't have to work, you
fuck in the afternoon.
You fuck like lunchtime, and then you go to the gas station. You're like, do these fucking boner bullshit natural male enhancements really make my sex game stronger? And he's like, yes, son.
Yes, boy. Buy the pills.
I'm trying to get into my butt head. So you gotta go from Hank Hill to, yes, boy.
Yes, Davis.
Yes, yes. Listen to Butthead.
There you go.
Get the boner pills. And
this says it has Viagra in it.
Shut up, Beavis.
Okay. It seems like it's cheating.
But anyways, I'd take them and I wouldn't. Again, maybe it's because I already came twice that day, but it was just like, no, it's, I get a boner and maybe, I guess I'll.
Old guys are fuming right now. They're like, you piece of shit. It's the only way I can come.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Yeah, I came twice and I took these boner pills and nothing happened.
I'm trying to word it and really paint the picture, but like I don't know, I wouldn't really notice a difference.
You know what else?
If anything, I'd have trouble coming that third time, and you'd think if you took a pill. But
the spirit is willing, but the flesh is spongy and bruised.
Yes.
I don't know. Do you know what else you used to be able to get from gas stations, Zach? Fake weed.
Dude. Did I have we talked about that on the podcast?
No, I don't think so.
So one time, multiple times
at Zach camp.
Oh,
ow!
That was loud. One time, I had some friends stop by my house, and they were like, I think they were picking something up for me. They asked if they could.
Ow.
Fuck, that's loud. They asked if they could borrow something, or maybe they were picking up like a piece of music equipment. I don't know. So I go out to their van, and they had a hookah, and they're like, you want a hit? And I was like, what is it? And they're like, it's weed. So I take this huge monster hit, and they're like, go on, blow it out. And I'm like, nope. And like, just blow it out, Zach. And I was like, trying to hold it in, feeling cool. And then I blew it out, and it was like, turned into like a Michael Bay movie, like, I really heard that in my head, and the world zoomed in and then zoomed back out. And then I got super paranoid instantly, and I was like, these motherfuckers are going to kidnap me.
They're in a van with a hookah?
So I turned around and took off running.
Yeah.
And I like barricaded myself inside, and I got a text from him like, dude, you're just gonna smoke and run? That's not cool. And I'm like, oh no, now they're mad. Now they're gonna fucking get me.
Now they're gonna kill me.
And yeah, so I was like,
first they're gonna torture me.
And then it felt like my heart was gonna fucking explode. My heart was pounding so fast and so hard. I was like trying to take a shower because that usually helps when you're too high.
Yeah.
I was trying to wash my face. I'm looking at myself in the mirror. I'm like, just breathe, Zach. Calm down. You got this. And then finally I had to break down and text my girlfriend and be like, I don't know what the fuck they just gave me, but it definitely wasn't weed, and I think I'm gonna fucking die. And it turns out it was fake weed.
Yeah. I remember a time when that shit was like chill. Yeah. And then like real weed, it turned into this thing where you would smoke a little bit and it would be like, I don't know who I am anymore.
So I didn't go to the hospital, but I swear it took like an hour for me to come down, and then I was just so exhausted, as one would be when their heart was probably working harder than it would have been in a marathon.
Yeah, that's why I had to stop tripping cough syrup, dude.
Yeah.
I'd wake up in the middle of the night after a big cough syrup trip, and my heart would be pounding out of my chest, and I was like, yeah, probably not a good idea to keep doing that.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, dog.
When you're a teenager and you do crazy things.
I made a smoking pipe out of like a plastic wiffle ball bat. Mm-hmm. We hollowed out.
I think I've used it.
I mean, there was already a hole in the one in the bottom,
right?
And so we poked. I think we poked a hole up top for our finger, maybe, and then we put a metal bowl, like on the side, Mm-hmm. And then we smoked some fake weed out of it. And that was another time that it got violently high, like not fun, like super peaky. And one of my friends got stupid high. We thought he went retarded. Can I say that? He went retarded.
Double down.
He started slumping over, and we're like, "Are you okay?" And he just kept going down, like he was leaning on the railing of the deck, and kept sliding until he was on his ass, and like he like melted, you know?
Yeah.
Not literally, but he melted as much as a human can melt into oneself. And then we're like, "Are you okay, dude?" And he's like, and we're like, "Oh, fuck.
We've killed a man."
Yo, we were freaking out. We thought like whatever.
Because you're also high.
Well, I was violently high, and I thought, well, whatever happened to him is going to happen to me. And what if he's dying? So that made it worse. And then at one point he went out into the yard and started forcing himself to puke, and he was like digging through it, and we're like, "Stop, dude, stop fucking doing that, get away." And he's like, I have to, and we finally got him back inside and like cleaned him off, and we're like, "Dude, the fuck's wrong with you?" He's like, "I thought I swallowed my tooth." I'm like, "Why weren't you talking to us?" He's like, "I was." "No, the fuck you weren't doing anything."
Yeah,
like we thought you went retarded.
Yeah.
And that's how violently high we are. And then my other friend, who reassured me the whole time, I'm like, "Are you good?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm good, man." And then I was looking at him, and his eyes went like completely red, like the devil. And I played it cool. I was like, "Oh, okay, man, cool." And then he's sitting outside with my other buddy. I'm not wanting to name names here, guys.
Yeah, it doesn't make the story convoluted at all.
Nope. Next time I'll use fake names, I promise. And he's sitting there with the retarded buddy. And I'm looking at him through the window, and he looks up at me, and through stony eyes, he's like, "Ah." And his eyes were red again, and I was like, "Oh,
fuck." Yeah.
And that was the second time, after I told myself I'd never touch the stuff again, that was the time I doubled down. I'm like, I am never fucking touching this stuff again.
Yeah. We had some good times on it. But yeah, the bad times are so much worse.
So bad.
Yeah.
It really...
You get like a really mellow batch, and you're like, "This is fine."
I'm kind of thankful for it, because it kept me away from hard drugs. Those two experiences solidified it. It's like, nope.
Yeah.
Not doing that shit, man.
Yeah, I had a bad trip, and it was my one and only. Well, I guess not my one and only. I'd had like smaller bad trips where you're like, you smoke the fake weed, and then you're like, for 15 minutes, you're like, "This is really not cool." But then after 15 minutes, the fake weed's usually over.
In your head, it was more like 30 minutes.
I mean, it was like an eternity. Like I was smoking with our mutual friend.
Stuck this way forever. That's another thing that goes through your head. Like,
yeah, I've permanently damaged myself.
Fuck, it's gonna be like this forever. Fuck.
That's something that you don't think about when you're sober. Is like some things are permanent.
Yeah.
Like you could lose a hand, and like that, like you just don't have a hand anymore. But it's like the same thing for your brain. It's like you can see something, or like experience something, and then just, well, now that part that you just know about that now.
Well, I think it's funny too, because you typically don't even think about that kind of stuff anyways.
Like permanent.
Until you're violently
permanent
high.
Consequences.
But then you're violently high, and you're like, "Fuck, I could lose a hand and it could be gone forever." Fuck, there's no way to get it back.
And then you're panicking about it, and you don't have any coping mechanisms because you're 17.
Like you're hiding from all the sharp objects because now somehow your hand's going to get cut off.
Yeah.
God fucking damn it.
You're like, doorknobs are scary because what if I trip and hit my teeth on it? Yeah.
Oh,
it's just
shit.
like these, but things happen. I was with our mutual friend Doug, and we were probably I was probably 17, and we smoked some Primo was the name of this stuff. I remember because it's evil, and you have to remember evil things so you know to stay away from them. And I took a hit, and I held it in, much like your experience, where you're like, got to make the most of this. These things only last 15 minutes. And then I blew it out, and you're coming up. And then it's like, like when you hit like cruising altitude when you're getting stoned, and you're like, this is a comfortable place to be. And then like the hot air balloon just keeps like rising, and you're like, I think we're in space now. Like it's getting hard to breathe. I quickly blew past that. And I literally forgot like who I was, like my name, who Doug was, the house that I was in, which is a house that I'd stayed the night in like multiple weekends for many years, like over the period of our middle school and high school career, and started feeling sick. And I was like, I think I need to go to the bathroom. And he was like, okay, go ahead, dude. And I was like, where is the bathroom? It's like literally like across the hall from the room, the room that we're in. And I'm like, can you take me to the bathroom? Literally like a pregnant lady going through labor, holding his hand as he like guides me to the bathroom. And then I vomit into the toilet, and I can see. Have you ever read The Divine Comedy in high school?
Yeah.
Remember the illustrations of like heaven with all the angels like in a spiral up into heaven? That's what I saw in my vomit in the toilet, and I'm like gesturing to them, and I'm like, do you see it? And they're like, yeah, it's vomit. I'm like, it's beautiful. And then I'm like coming down, and I'm looking at vomit in the toilet, and I go, I'm sorry.
Oh man.
And it was like probably about like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But in my mind, it was forever.
See, I say I was high for like an hour, but it could have been
Any amount of time.
Yeah.
You could have told me it was a day, and I would believe you.
It felt so long, and it was so scary. I did, before my last time smoking, I'd smoked, what I was told was weed that I got from a buddy. And I was hanging out with a guy we'll call Doyle. And I went and hung out. We went and got the weed. Went to Doyle's place. Went to his basement. I was going to stay there for the night because I wanted to be in town, you know. I didn't live in the town we were currently in, but I wanted to be in town. I'm still going to convolute it a little bit. Okay, so we got high, and he had done a bunch of other drugs.
Unbeknownst to you?
I can't remember everything, but there was a little bit of alcohol involved. He said he did speed, and then we smoked. Anyways, I got violently high, and he's like, all right, I'm going to go to bed. And he's laying.
Thanks, dude.
He's laying in bed, going like, he's like, and I'm violently high. Like if I lay down and close my eyes, it feels like I'm being thrown up into the sky, like I'm falling into the sky.
Yeah.
Like I can't close my eyes, and then I've got him over there sounding like he's ODing, and I'm like, dude, and he's like, what? I'm like, are you okay? He's like, yeah, man, I'm fine. Like, you're making weird fucking noises. It sounds like you're choking. He's like, I'm fine, dude. He goes back to sleep. He's like,
dude has sleep apnea.
Like, he wasn't breathing. He was like fucking choking. And I'm like, dude. And he's like, what? I'm like, you're freaking me out, man. He's like, I'm fine. And I'm like trying to like I'm closing my eyes, trying to like will my way through it. Like, just chill. Keep your eyes closed. You'll go to sleep. And I'm just like, the room starts fucking spinning. Now I'm like falling down, but spinning, like going down a whirlpool.
Very fun.
I'm like, fuck, man. I think at some point I managed to keep my eyes closed and went to sleep, but
Jesus. Yeah, there's something I don't know what it is. Is it divine punishment? Who knows?
Oh, that night I drank the bong water on accident too, because I was trying to get a good hit, and I'd started to lean back, and then the bed I was on, I kept leaning. I was like, fuck. And I don't know why I didn't stop sucking, but
yeah,
got the bong water.
Hey, you know, hey, come on.
It is what it is.
Don't stop sucking.
He had a master plan to hide the weed smell, and it was you took a toilet paper tube and then you put a dryer sheet over the end of it.
Yeah.
And then you blow through the tube through the dryer sheet, and that was supposed to make the weed not smell like weed.
It kind of works. It's not really great though.
No, it just smells like you're doing laundry and smoking weed.
Yeah, basically.
But he lived with old people, and old people, they're like, I remember when I was a kid.
Yeah, we just used patchouli.
Yeah, the 70s were a good time.
Yeah. Everyone
was stoned in the 70s.
It's true, and it was all legal. And they fucked it up. Nancy Reagan, you bitch. Well,
what else, man?
Oh, So I work for the city now, and there's one gas station that gives us free drinks. Mm-hmm. And I'm not a big soda guy, but like I'll drink like a Sprite just as something to drink other than water. And they have like a little energy booster thing, like a little shot of caffeine or caffeinated liquid that you can add to your beverages at their fountain station. And I was like, talking to a guy, and I was like, why doesn't Sprite just make like their own caffeinated version of Sprite, and they can call it like Sprite X or, Sprite Extreme. And he goes, Sprite Power. And I was like, Sprite Power? Like, is that like what far right nationalists like? Sprite Power. Yeah, dude. What does a white nationalist drink? Sprite Power.
Could you imagine?
It's just fun to say.
They launch a campaign and they're like, introducing Sprite Power.
I was like, whenever like
the fucking
advertising.
riots.
You remember when like advertising was like edgy, and they would like kind of be like borderline sexual or violent. And I was like, just imagine like a chorus of guys dressed in green robes. And they're just like doing like the Ooga Chugga beer chug, or which sports team does the beer chug? They're pretending to drink a beer, but they're just going Sprite Power, Sprite Power. Just really lean into the connotations.
Sprite Power. Yeah. Could you imagine the blowback like that comes out right after the Bud Light, the Bud Light gay controversy?
Just and lean then into it.
They're like Pepsi's like, we hear you. Now introducing Sprite Power.
Thanks to Mike for that one.
That's fucking hilarious, man.
Good job, Mike. I don't even think he was trying to. I think it was just one of those things where
that'd be a good name.
Yeah. Sprite Power.
Like, no, think about that for a minute.
No, think about that for a minute. Yeah. Yeah. That was it.
Oh, fuck, dude. I saw Godzilla Kong.
Was that the new one that was out?
Yep.
You saw Godzilla. You saw Sprite Power. You saw Godzilla -1, right?
Yeah.
Everybody loves that movie.
Yeah. Good movie.
Godzilla. What's the new one?
It's just called Godzilla Kong. There's an X in the title, but it's like Hunter x Hunter. You don't pronounce the X. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Yeah.
So Godzilla X Kong. How was it?
Yeah. It's really good. It's really good. So
Godzilla back on top.
Well, look, man. I think with -1, everyone has to compare the new movie to -1. -1 came out in December. This movie
totally
just came out.
Different team, right?
Yeah, but hear me out, man. 1 is supposed to be a fucking serious movie, and the other one's supposed to be like a action popcorn
fun.
Flick.
Yeah. Forgive me, but didn't they just do a Godzilla vs. Kong film?
No, that was during the pandemic. That was Godzilla vs. Kong.
Yeah.
This one's Godzilla Kong. They're not
fighting. They're just
fighting.
both in the film.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
They fight a little bit in the film, but it is a team-up movie.
Gotcha. They mostly fight other lizards.
Well, excuse me. My throat is a little dry. What was I going to say? If you watched the fucking trailers for this movie and went into the movie thinking you were going to get anything other than monsters fighting each other, like action. If you went into it thinking you were going to get like a super serious plot, like a Godzilla allegory, like for nuclear war,
like a Godzilla.
You didn't watch the same fucking trailers that I did. I watched those trailers and I knew exactly what this movie was going to be, and it was that, and it delivered. It was what I wanted it to be. It was just stupid fun, giant monsters fighting. The humans had to explain some shit because I don't know if you know this. The monsters can't talk.
So they're there for exposition.
So the humans have to explain why they're doing what they're doing in some instances. And then the rest of the time, it's really just focused on it's called Godzilla Kong. It focuses more on Kong, but Godzilla's in there. And there's 2 new villains, and they're awesome villains. And I won't say any fucking spoilers, but
Bryan Cranston's in it.
No, no. Look,
and he's in a Pacific Rim mech suit.
I loved Godzilla -1. I love this new Godzilla movie. You can love both. You can hate both. You're entitled to your opinions, but I understand why people would compare them. But you can have serious Godzilla films and silly Godzilla films too. You can have them both.
Are they in the same universe? Are they sequels, prequels? Are they related to each other in any way? Are there plot lines that interconnect between Godzilla -1 and Godzilla Kong?
No, -1 is a
standalone
a Japanese film by Toho, which is separate from the Legendary universe.
How do both of these studios have licensing for Godzilla?
So Toho owns Godzilla.
Oh, so they're allowing Legendary to make. Yeah. Gotcha.
So Toho
big win for Legendary.
Toho reserves the rights to make Godzilla films whenever the fuck they want.
Good deal.
Yep. So it's a great time to be a Godzilla fan. I only had to wait like 3 fucking months for a new Godzilla film, so now I'm feeling spoiled, and I'm ready for the next one already. So,
I also saw a new film recently. Yeah. Roadhouse.
Oh, dude, I want to see that.
It's good. The discourse online has been shitting on it, and I don't understand why. It's not like it's a classic film.
I had heard someone had reviewed the new Roadhouse and compared it to the old Roadhouse, and they were like, if you go back and read movie critics and like reviews for the movie, that movie got a lot of shit. Like Roadhouse was not received well, and it wasn't until after it came out on like VHS that it became a cult classic and everyone decided they loved it.
Right.
The initial reception, at least from movie reviewers, was that it's a bad movie. Now, I will say about the new one, I think I could use the same argument. Haven't seen it, but if you watch the trailer for the new Roadhouse movie and think you're going to get some like super deep, meaningful movie, like no, it's going to be people beating the shit out of each other. It's not going to be
Romeo and Juliet with violence. Well, I guess there's violence in Romeo and Juliet. Yeah, but it's not Good Will Hunting. I mean, even then, what I've noticed a lot about people like classic movies is that they're mostly just fantasy. It's like there's no realism in these films. Like most films that are realism are either dramas or they're tragedies. You know what I mean? Like a realistic film is like The Road, where there are cannibals. And unlike The Walking Dead, which I've decided is fantasy, where cannibals lose, it's like the cannibals win. And then like they kind of like barely make it out. And then the dad dies of cancer. Spoilers for The Road. And that's like real life. Like that's what people want from like a good movie. Is they're like, it was so unrealistic. He got beat up to death and he was still standing and then he killed the other. And it's like, yeah, it's a fucking fantasy movie. Okay, just because it takes place in the context of the real world doesn't mean it can't be fantasy. People in The Walking Dead have fucking dreadlocks, and you think that shit doesn't fucking stink? Like they look like perfect and they have beautiful skin. You don't think they'd have like acne and they'd be covered in shit and dirt all the time, even though they have fucking showers? It's not like they're like producing shampoo constantly. Like they look beautiful.
So that also just makes me think that they've never watched an action film before, because I'm just thinking like,
I don't know who this is reaching where they're just judging it so harshly.
Like, have you heard of a man called Schwarzenegger? How about Steven Seagal, Jean-Claude Van Damme? Like, where have you been, man?
Yeah, you shouldn't look at these movies and judge them on their comparison to reality. It's like that just ruins Predator and Aliens. It's like these, like I get it that Aliens is more sci-fi, but it's not hard sci-fi. It's fantasy sci-fi. It's sci-fi horror. These things are unrealistic, and it's I will concede that if it doesn't suspend your disbelief as a film, then it's not doing its job as a film. But to a point, you also have to temper your expectations based on the movie that you're watching, because the movie sets up your expectations. Like within like the first 10 minutes, the dude survives like getting hit by a fucking train in his car, and you go, okay, well, this is fantasy. Like we're living in La La Land. This is not realism.
Yeah. Or this is the luckiest man on the fucking planet.
Right. And either way, that sets the tone for the fucking film. It's like, the movie opens with a bar fight with like there's a bar that has sanctioned fist fights, I guess, with betting placed on it, and it's Post Malone is the guy winning, and then Jake Gyllenhaal walks in, and guy's like, "You want to tape up your hands?" And he's like, "No thanks." And he goes, "Oh, fucking Mr. Professional over here," and sits down, and then the guy, Post Malone, figures out who Jake Gyllenhaal is, and he just forfeits the round before the fight even starts. And then Jake Gyllenhaal gets the money, he walks outside, and then the promoter for the fight comes up, and he's like, "You just cost me $500, asshole," and stabs him, and he doesn't even flinch. And you're like, okay, so we're in La La Land. Like, this is fake. Like they're just bare knuckle fighting, and the dude's like going through like 6 or 7 rounds of just constant bare knuckle fighting, and he's still like telling jokes and shit. And then like this guy shows up, and he's like, "Oh, I'm no fucking fighting, man," and he's all shredded and shit. Like, yeah, okay, obviously. Yeah,
that honestly, this sounds like a pretty standard Schwarzenegger, Jean-Claude Van Damme film.
Yes. Yeah. I don't want to say I love it, but I don't hate it at all, and that's a big benchmark for me.
So most reviews, because I have heard bad reviews for that movie, but I've heard good reviews for it too. It's the same for Godzilla Kong. Most reviews read something like, "I don't like it, so it's shit."
Yeah, but that's a stupid outlook to have.
Yeah.
You can not like it, but it doesn't mean that it's bad. And people were like, Conor McGregor's acting is bad. He has like 8 lines in the movie, and they're hilarious. He's perfect for the role.
I heard he did great.
He's perfect for the role. He does the fucking stupid like ring walk that he does the entire fucking movie. And at one point, like Jake Gyllenhaal's character kills all the bad guys, and Conor McGregor's character isn't there, and he walks into the hideout, and he just looks around because nobody's there because everybody's dead, and he's like, "Where the fuck is everybody?" And it's just like his line delivery is fucking it's just like, you're like, it made me laugh out loud. I'm like, this isn't even I guess it is kind of a comedy. It's like an action comedy, and it has good stakes and like good setups and payoffs. Like, it's not a bad movie. I don't understand why people are shitting all over it. Like, the CGI is a little bit over the top, but it's really good CGI for how over the top it is. I don't understand. I don't understand why people are mad.
Yeah, I think Ash might have Prime right now. It's on Amazon, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You fucking got Amazon. It's free to watch. It's not like they fucking paid money to watch this fucking thing. It's like, it's with your Prime subscription. Quit being a fucking bitch.
Yep. It's hard to please people, man. It's like fucking that Homer Simpson slipper.
I don't even watch movies that much. I don't watch new movies. I watch movies that I like, that I've seen a bunch of times. The comfort food for me. Put them on. I'm like, yes, Fight Club, thank you. It does it serves a purpose. And it's like when I watch a new movie and I'm actually like not appalled by it, I'm like, this is a good movie. Very few movies am I appalled by.
Yeah.
But this one was enjoyable.
Yeah, that it's a bad feeling when you watch a movie and you're like,
why?
20 minutes in and you know it's bad.
Yeah.
And then you get to the ending and you're like, fuck, that was bad. And you had such high hopes for it.
Either I'm really lucky.
But those are really...
Well, I will say this. The FNAF movie was not great.
You didn't like it?
It was not great.
I think I liked it because I was watching it with my kids. And Luna, for example, she was really proud that she watched the movie without getting scared. Now, is it a scary movie?
No.
Well, to kids it might be.
Maybe.
But I didn't have a problem with it. I thought it was going to be one of the movies I was just describing. I thought,
it's going to hurt to sit through this.
Yes. Yeah. And
no, it's not quite that bad.
I really didn't mind it.
I felt, I don't know, maybe The Conjuring 3 kind of gave me that feeling, and The Conjuring 2. Conjuring 1 was great. Like, it kind of came out of nowhere. And then they sort of like, were like, well, we got to make sequels for this. And the same thing for Insidious, where they have like a really good first movie. And then the second one, they're like, fuck, it made like $100 million and we only made it for $20 million. Like, we just made $80 million on the back end.
I'm trying to think of like the last movie I was super hyped for and let down by, but I'm drawing a blank, man.
I don't know. I find the Avatar films tiresome.
I didn't watch the new one.
I didn't either.
I watched the first one.
I watched parts of the new one, and I was just like...
I watched the first one. I think I saw it in theaters. I'm like, it's awesome. It's beautiful, but it's so long. I have it on Blu-ray. Tried to rewatch it.
I think it came out at the right time where CGI was still like a spectacle. And going to see it in IMAX, and it's this fully CGI world, and you're like, wow, this is really, really good.
It was also the 3D that they were doing with it.
Yeah, right.
It's like, it's so awesome.
Depth of field 3D rather than... Because, I'll say it. I prefer the red cyan 3D versus the depth of field 3D that we have nowadays, where you get depth rather than things coming out of the screen. But it's like red cyan was exclusively for like shit flying around the theater.
We should just get some glasses.
Yeah. You could. That's the beautiful thing about red cyan too. You can just like look up red cyan 3D videos, and they'll have like public domain films that are in red cyan.
Do you think we could get some sunglasses that are made to look like 3D glasses, and we can just wear them?
Yeah, I mean,
like as a style,
like the 80s.
It'd be really cool. We can get some Walkman.
What's happening?
and a power glove.
What is that? Where is this coming from, Zach?
Dude, we can buy hoverboards now. They sell those.
But they're not the same.
But we just won't ride them. They won't know that they don't hover. They say hoverboard. We could pick up some chicks with a hoverboard, dude.
Zach, you were born in the 90s.
Have you ever filled a slipper full of lotion and fucked it?
Look, if you were looking through my window last night, you can just tell me. You don't have to ask me like weird cryptic questions.
Going to town on your Rick and Morty slippers.
I don't have slippers, Zach. Come on, don't fuck around.
Oh, fuck. Oh, God, which one was it, Rick or Morty? You sick fuck.
Either way you go, real sick fuck there. 14-year-old boy, 80-year-old man. Pretty gross.
Fuck, dude.
I do not.
Oh, man.
Yeah. It's like somebody who doesn't know the term fuck boy.
Yeah.
I don't want that fuck dude in my house. What? Somebody who like has sex with women but doesn't commit to relationships with them.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean a fuck boy? Yeah, a fuck guy.
Oh, fuck. The fatigue is finally setting in, man.
Yeah, I was hoping it would set in sooner, but it's fine. We had to set a real talk session. That's fine.
I am getting a little delirious.
You think we'll have to do one tomorrow? Tomorrow's usually the day I edit the podcast. I edit the podcast tomorrow. And we ran out of backlog episodes because we're lazy.
Wait, we can't end the podcast yet because it's WrestleMania week. And that means that this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, is WrestleMania. So they just did the Go Home Raw, which is the last Raw before the pay-per-view. And I should backpedal, dude. Friday Night SmackDown. The Rock beat up Cody Rhodes, beat him down backstage, bloodied him, took him out in the rain in Chicago and beat his ass in the rain. And then he took a weight belt, and it said Mama Rhodes on it because he says he's going to cover it with Cody's blood and his mom's tears, and he's going to give it to his mom. And they're whipping him with these fucking weight belts. That's a whole nother story. Anyways, he takes Cody's blood and smears it on the fucking weight belt, dude. And he's like, fuck, what did he say? Well, you know what he did say about it 20 times is like, fuck, what did he say? God damn it.
Zach, just to preface, you still have 10 minutes to stretch out, so make it last.
He just kept going. I sound so stupid right now. He just kept going like, how do you like me now? He just said it like 20 times. But fuck, what did he say? He's like, see, I told you. I'm going to give this to your mom. Mama Rhodes.
I just want to reiterate, I'm giving this to your mom.
Oh, and he said when he handed it to her, he said this in a promo. This is what I was going for. And I'm so fucking tired, Brandon. My brain is not working right now. He said, I'm going to hand that belt to your mom, Cody. And I'm going to say, what can I say except you're welcome?
No, he didn't.
He fucking did. I swear to God.
Are you fucking with me?
I swear to God he did, dude. We can watch this shit after this. So.
This is like, I don't know.
Okay, follow me here, man. Monday Night Raw rolls around. And Cody's not in the building. He hasn't been medically cleared. He's hurt, right? The Rock beat him up too hard. And then Roman Reigns came out and was thanking The Rock because it was all Roman's plan for The Rock to beat up Cody. And through a series of events, the main event ends up being Seth Rollins versus Solo Sikoa. Seth tried to challenge The Rock or Roman, and they're like, no, you can fight Solo. Fuck you.
Eat shit.
And so, of course, during the match, the bloodline interferes, and Cody shows up. Oh, no way, he's not supposed to be here. And he starts beating up The Rock. And Roman at some point had said he was leaving the building during the night. And then, Roman came back. So Roman and Rock beat up Cody and Seth, and then they take the weight belts, and then they start beating them with them.
Is this going to be like a thing now? Is that something that they've done in the past?
No, it's part of it. The Rock cut a promo. So Cody wears a weight belt to the ring, and he takes it off and hands it to the fans. And it says like American Nightmare on it. And that's his thing. Nobody else does it. He gives people weight belts.
Sure.
So The Rock decided, I'm going to start wearing a fucking weight belt too, and I'm going to beat you with it, boy. Mm-hmm. And so that's kind of where that started.
And he can say boy.
So he can also say fuck, which apparently, so WWE is supposed to be like PG, but The Rock is like head of the board now. And so he can kind of do whatever he wants. And he's saying like fuck and shit and just, whatever he wants. And not everyone, basically just him and Cody get to do that now. Because if The Rock cuts a promo like that on Cody, they let Cody reciprocate so Cody doesn't look weak.
Are they counting fucks and shits? He's like, well, okay, The Rock said fuck twice, so you get 2 fucks in this promo.
Yeah, and then they do like the
5-second
delay shit where they have time to bleep it. But normally you don't see that because it's the PG era. Anyways, so we got to get to Friday now. Friday will be the last SmackDown before the pay-per-view. And then on night one Saturday, okay, main event is Rock and Roman versus Cody and Seth. And if Rock and Roman win, then the main event night 2, Cody versus Roman, is going to be Bloodline rules, which means there are no rules. and then they're like, Cody, if you win, I guess the Bloodline won't interfere. They'll be barred. You'll just get a one-on-one match. You have my word. I'm a man of my word. You have my word. That's The Rock saying that shit.
But Roman is still the Intercontinental Champion?
No. The undisputed.
Undisputed
Universal Heavyweight Champion.
Gotcha.
So
Rock is just acting as the
Rock is just part of the bloodline now.
Intermediary.
He's part of the family now.
Gotcha.
But he's also calling himself the final boss now, which is pretty cool. I kind of like that. But it makes me wonder, man, you know. You can do this 2 ways. So, night 1, Bloodline wins and gets Bloodline rules. Night 2, Cody versus Roman, Bloodline rules, and against all odds, Cody gets beat down. Maybe some of his friends come out and help take out the other guys. Nobody touches Roman, though, because you let Cody make his comeback and win clean. And then not only did he win against all odds, he overcame literally, like, so his whole finish the story since he's come back. He should have done it last year. But all that to say, he overcame adversity, because that was the big argument. Like, Cody needs to overcome more adversity before he gets to finish his story. So that's one way you could do it, and that's cool. Or you can let them win night 1, Cody and Seth, and then they get the clean match on night 2. No one's allowed to interfere. But then maybe Roman tells some people to come out, and then The Rock was like, hey, I gave him my word that nobody would interfere.
And so then Rock turns.
So The Rock steps in and turns on Roman, and then Cody gets his clean win. And then you can, you know, that's an early turn for Rock, but then you get Rock versus Roman down the road. Now,
but as soon as if Cody wins the belt, then that starts the clock on the countdown to when he loses the belt. So do they let him keep the belt for like a year? Like, assuming that he gets the belt.
Just depends on the storyline.
What's the timeline? Because it's definitely not keeping the belt for 5 years, like Roman. I don't think they're going to do another 5-year run.
There's a thing. There's the chase for the belt is exciting. So
that's where all the drama comes from.
Yeah, you could keep it on him for like.
Or is it going to be like one of those things where it quickly changes hands?
And that completely depends on the story and the competitor, like the challengers. So you could keep it on him for 4 to 6 months, and he could lose it, but you just don't take him out of the title picture. Like, make it, he lost the title, and now give us him trying to get the title back. You know what I'm saying? You can keep it on him for a year, but again, whenever they get the lengthy runs, once they lose the title, they might get a rematch, and they usually lose that shit, and then it's kind of like a
nail in the coffin.
No, it's just it's like it takes them a while to come back to getting the title, and I think you could. I
would like to see Roman in some non-title matches.
You can tell a good story where you trade the title back and forth. You just don't do it. You don't do it like every week or every month, right? But like I said, like 4 to 6 months, he loses it, and then he has to get it back.
Yeah,
that's a good story. Like there's a good way to tell that story.
Where is John Cena in all this? Is he still the ambassador to China, or?
So he is supposed to be at WrestleMania, but he's not
confirmed
officially in a match. So he might just be there and be like, "Hey, welcome to WrestleMania. It's me.
Hao.
It's me, John Cena.
Ni hao.
You can't see me.
Yeah. You are unable to see me."
and I again, like, look, guys, I'm tired as fuck trying to explain the whole setup for WrestleMania to Brandon here.
It's true.
Okay.
We're end of day tired rather than beginning of day tired.
Yeah, and I'm having the worst brain fog to articulate my thoughts. But one last thing that I'll tack on there, I think the Rock and Roman match, like Rock turning on Roman, is going to happen. It doesn't have to happen now. It can happen down the road. But I think there will be at some point, possibly next WrestleMania, Rock versus Roman Reigns. I think that's a match that'd
be pretty cool.
That we will get at some point. I think he's gonna get the belt, man. I think Cody's gonna win at Mania, and Seth is taking on Drew McIntyre for the World Heavyweight Championship. And as much as I love Seth, Drew is he's cutting the promos of his career. Week after week, he is killing it. Drew is a former world champion. He deserves to win the belt. I'd love to see him take the belt and see what story you can tell with that. There's so much cool shit you can do with that. So,
well, good. Well, that about wraps it up for this week's episode of the podcast.
Yeah, man.
Did you have any closing thoughts? Do you want me to edit out the word retard?
I mean, I don't care, man.
Okay.
No. Fuck. Ow. God. My dick.
Stop leaving it on the floor.
It fell off.
Shouldn't have wished for a detachable penis, dude.
I'm just, I'm excited, man. It's fucking WrestleMania week. I got another belt coming in the mail. 2 nights. No matter how it fucking ends on Saturday. If Cody and Seth lose, you're like, fuck, dude, night 2's bloodline rules. What's going to happen? How's he going to win? And even if they fucking win, it's like, okay, they won night 1. Can he win again on night 2?
Dun, dun, dun.
Think about that shit, man.
Yeah. What do you say next week we let the real Zach and Brandon do the podcast instead?
I mean, whatever.
Fucking hate those guys. Shit, they're probably going to listen to this.
No, they created us. You guys do it so we have more time to fucking have sex with our slippers.
I want to run through a field of burning bodies. I want to scream. I want to bathe in the blood of my enemy. So if you think that you're better than me, why don't you just try it and see? I've got nothing to wait for. I've got nothing but hate for you. So why don't you just try it and see?